The King of Prayers, O Lions amongst men, Buddhas past, present, and future, to as many of you as exist in the 10 directions, I bow down with my body, speech, and mind. On waves of strength of this King of Prayers for exalted sublime ways, with bodies as numerous as atoms of the world, I bow down to the Buddha's pervading space. On every atom is found a Buddha, sitting amongst countless Buddha sons. I look with eyes of faith to the victorious ones, thus filling the entire Dharmadhatu. Of these with endless oceans of excellence, endowed with an ocean of wondrous speech, I sing praises of the greatness of all Buddhas, a eulogy to those gone to bliss. Garlands of flowers I offer them, and beautiful sounds, supreme perfumes, butter lamps, and sacred incense I offer to all the victorious ones. Excellent food, supreme fragrances, and a mound of mystic substances high as Mount Meru, I arrange in a special formation and offer to those who have conquered themselves. And all peerless offerings I hold up in admiration of those gone to bliss. With the strength of faith in sublime ways, I prostrate and make offerings to the conquerors. Long overpowered by attachment, aversion, and ignorance, countless evils I have committed with acts of body, speech, and mind. Each and every one of these I now confess. In the perfection of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, in our hearts training and beyond, and in the latent goodness of every living being, I lift up my heart and rejoice. O lies into the 10 directions, Buddhas who have found the passionless stage of enlightenment, to all of you I direct this request: turn the incomparable wheel of Dharma. O Masters wishing to show Parinirvana, stay with us and teach, I pray, for as many yawns as there are specks of dust, in order to bring goodness and joy to all living beings. May any small merits that I may have amassed, by thus prostrating, make offerings, confessing, rejoicing, and asking the Buddhas to remain and teach the Dharma, be dedicated now to supreme and perfect enlightenment. May my offerings be received by all past Buddhas, and by all those now abiding in the 10 directions, and may all the Buddhas who have not yet come quickly perfect their minds and reach Buddhahood, the state of supreme full awakening. May all the Buddhas' realms of the 10 directions remain forever vast and completely pure. May the world be completely filled with the Buddhas who have attained illumination under the sacred trees. And may they all be surrounded by Bodhisattvas. May all living beings in the 10 directions always abide in health and joy. May they live in accord with the way of the Dharma, and may their every wish become fulfilled. By my living in the ways of enlightenment, may I remember my past lives in all my reincarnations, and in all cycles of death, migration, and rebirth. May a sensitivity for truth be ever strong in me. By my following in the footsteps of the Buddhas, may I utterly perfect the sublime ways of the Bodhisattvas, and may I practice the flawless, undegenerating, stainless, and pure ways of self-control. May I master all languages that exist, including those of the gods, yakshas, spirits, and varieties of men, as well as all forms of communication of living beings, that I may be able to show the Dharma in every way. Striving thus and in the transcending perfections, may I never forget the body-mind, and may I totally cleanse from within my mind stream all negativities and mental veils. May I gain freedom from karma, delusion, and karmic morass, to be able to live in the world unaffected by its stains, like an unstained lotus grows in the mud, and like the sun and moon shine without obstruction in the sky. For as long as there are Buddha fields and directions, may I strive to quell the mystery of the lower realms. May I place all beings only in happiness, and bring them all only happiness and joy. May I strive to complete the ways of enlightenment and to abide in ways harmonious with the world. May I expose to others the ways most sublime, and myself abide in them throughout all future eons. May my ways and the ways of a Bodhisattva always go together hand in hand, in body, speech, and mind. May I attune to their sublime ways. May I never be separated from the good friends who reveal the path of the sublime ways, and who wish only to benefit me. May I never disappoint them for even a moment. May I constantly envision the perfect Buddhas, the protectors who are surrounded by Bodhisattvas, and in the future may I never weary of devoting myself to them with all my strength. May I forever uphold the holy Dharma of the Buddhas and illumine the sublime way of enlightenment. May I practice throughout all future ages the ways of the sublime path, circling in various realms of existence. May I amass inexhaustible goodness and wisdom, and may I become an unending treasure of qualities, such as methods, wisdom, samadhi, and the experience of a bodhisattvas. In every atom a Buddha fields numberless as atoms. Each field is filled with Buddhas beyond conception, and each Buddha is surrounded by myriad bodhisattvas. To all these dwellers in sublime ways I turn my attention. Thus, in all atoms within the directions, abide within the space of a single hair, an ocean of Buddhas within an ocean of Buddha fields, performing enlightened activities for an ocean of eons. Each Buddha with his perfect speech releases an ocean of sounds with every word he says, to satisfy the infinitely diverse tendencies of beings. Thus does the speech of a Buddha constantly flow. All these conquerors, past, present, and future, continually turn the methods of Dharma wheels. With all the power of my mind, I listen for the inexhaustible sound of their words. All future eons that could possibly be manifest within me in a single instant, and I myself, in a fraction of a moment, enter into all these eons of the three times. All past, present, and future lions amongst men, I envision with the instantaneous wisdom, and by the power of the Bodhisattva's examples, I look upon the objects of their experience. I manifest Buddha fields past, present, and future upon one single atom of existence, and then I transform every single atom of existence into a Buddha field. By this, when the future lights of the worlds eventually gain body, turn the Dharma wheels, and reveal the passing to Nirvana supreme peace, may I take rebirth in their very presence. Then may I attain the 10 powers, the power of instant magical emanation, the power which is a vehicle with every door, the power of excellent activity, the power of all-pervading love, the power of constantly positive energy, the power of passionless wisdom, the powers of knowledge, method, and samadhi, and the power of enlightenment itself. May I purify the power of karma, may I crush the power of delusion, may I render powerless the powerful mirage, and may I perfect the power of the sublime ways. May I purify an ocean of realms, may I liberate an ocean of sentient beings, may I see an ocean of truth, may I realize an ocean of wisdom. May I perform an ocean of perfect deeds, and may I perfect an ocean of prayers. May I reveal an ocean of Buddhas, and may I practice untiringly for an ocean of eons. Through my practice of the sublime Bodhisattva ways, may I gain the enlightenment of Buddhahood, and then fulfill the enlightened and sublime aspiration of the Buddhas past, present, and future. In order to match the ways of the sage called Samantabhadra, the always sublime one, chief amongst the awakened one's son, I now dedicate all virtues that I possess, just as the sublime sage Samantabhadra dedicated all pure practices of body, speech, and mind to the attainment of a pure state of pure realms. So do I now dedicate the fruit of all my efforts. In order to engage in all sublime virtues, I offer the prayer of Manjushri. In the future, may I never become faint in striving to perfect the exalted Bodhisattva way. May my deeds never reach a limit. May my qualities of excellence become boundless. And by abiding in immeasurable activity, may I find Buddhahood, the state of limitless manifestation. Limitless is the extent of space, limitless is the number of sentient beings, and limitless are the karma and delusions of beings, such as the limits of my aspirations. One may offer supreme ornaments of the Buddha fields, of the 10 directions to the conquerors, and also after the highest joys of men and gods, for eons numerous as atoms of the world. But to read or hear this king of prayers, with eyes looking towards supreme illumination, and faith shining in one's heart for even an instant, gives birth to a far more superior merit. Should anyone recite this aspiration of sublime ways, they will pass beyond all states of sorrow, rise above all inferior beings, and gain a vision of Amitabha, Buddha of infinite light. Even in this very lifetime, all sublime joys will be theirs. The experience of the all sublime Samantabhadra without obstructions quickly be theirs. Whoever by the power of ignorance has committed the 5 heinous deeds, if he should recite this prayer of Samantabhadra, will rapidly dissolve them without a trace. One will become endowed with wisdom and knowledge, beauty, enlightened marks, good lineage and race, horse of Maras and Titikas dare not attack one who is so honored throughout the 3 realms. Swiftly one reached the royal Bodhi tree to sit beneath it for the welfare of all beings. Swiftly one awakens to enlightenment and turns the Dharma wheel, overcoming the Maras and their host. Merely by giving voice to these aspirations of the sublime ways of a Bodhisattva, the effect can only be known by an omniscient Buddha. Therefore doubt not that it leads to enlightenment. In order to follow the excellent example set by the wisdom of the Bodhisattva Manjushri, and the always sublime Samantabhadra, all virtues I dedicate to their peerless ideals. All conquerors passed into the 3 times have praised as supreme this peerless dedication. Therefore, I also surrender all of my activities to the sublime goals of a Bodhisattva. When the moment of my death arrives, may I remain free from the spiritual obscuration. May I perceive the face of Amitabha, or unchance migrate to Sukhavati, the pure land of joy. Having arrived there, may I fulfill all aims of this prayer of aspirations, and benefit the countless living beings residing throughout the 10 directions. In the joyous mandala of Amitabha Buddha, may I be reborn from a beautiful lotus, and may I there have the pleasure of gaining a pure prophecy from Amitabha Buddha himself. Having won this word of prophecy by the power of my mind, may I fill all directions with many millions of mystical emanations and bring limitless benefits to the world. If by reciting this prayer of the sublime ways I have amassed a tiny fragment of goodness, may it work immediately to fulfill all dharmic hopes of living beings. Through the supreme merit that I have gained by my dedication to the sublime deeds of the Bodhisattva, may all living beings drowning in the flood of suffering be reborn in immaculate realm of Amitabha Buddha. May this supreme unsurpassable King of ours benefit all infinite migrating beings. This state adorned by Samantabhadra being accomplished, may all schemes of ill fortune be emptied. Thank you for listening.